Hello students. Today we are going to see the important points of lesson number 4, environmental management. Let us see the points. In that, the first we will see the point ecosystem. Students, what is the meaning of ecosystem? Ecosystem means the biotic and abiotic factors at a particular place and the interaction in between them is known as the ecosystem. It means in ecosystem two factors are involved, which are that biotic and the abiotic factor, and whatever interaction occurs in between them, this is known as the ecosystem. So if we want to see the classification of ecosystem, it is divided into two components. The first one is abiotic components and the second one is biotic components. Abiotic components in which all non-living factors are involved, and biotic means in which all living factors are involved. Abiotic components are divided into two parts. See in that physical factor and the biological factors. In physical factors, if we want to see the examples, air, water vapor, mineral, soil and sunlight. These all are the physical factors which are non-living factors are there. So they are coming in the abiotic components. If we want to see the biological factors, in that nutrients are present, and these nutrients again divided into inorganic substances and the organic substances. If we want to see the example of inorganic substances are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, iron, sodium, potassium. These all are the inorganic substances, and in organic substances examples are proteins, carbohydrates and the fats. So this is the classification of abiotic components. Now let us see the biotic components. Biotic components are divided into the autotrophic and the heterotrophic. Autotrophic means which can make their own food, and heterotrophic means which are depend on other organism for their food. Autotrophic means they are known as the producer. Why they are known as the producer? Because they can synthesize, they can make their own food, and because of that example for the producer is plants. Heterotrophic again divided into the consumers and the decomposers. Now consumers means animals and decomposers means microbes. Why microbes are known as the decomposers? Because the microbes are useful for the decomposition process. So heterotrophic gets divided into the consumers and the decomposers. Consumers means example is animals and decomposers means microbes. These consumers again divided into the three subtypes. In that primary consumers, secondary consumers and the tertiary consumers. So this is about the classification of ecosystem. Now let us see the next one point. The next point is relationship between environment and ecosystem. First we will see what is the meaning of environment. Okay, environment means physical, chemical and biological factors affecting the living organism in any possible way. Which factors are there? Physical, chemical and biological factors affecting the living organism in any possible way is collectively called as the environment. It includes many biotic, abiotic, natural and artificial factors. There are two main types of environment. One is natural environment and other is artificial environment. Which are the types of environment? Natural environment and the artificial environment. Environment consists of two basic factors. In that the first one factor is about the biotic factors and the second one is abiotic factors. Thus after this point we will see about the ecology. Now ecology means what? the science that deals with the study of interactions between biotic and abiotic factors of the environment is called as ecology. Basic functional unit used to study the ecology is called as ecosystem. Now let us see the next point, environmental conservation. Now conservation means what? Protection or the preservation. So how we can conserve the environment, related to that some points are here. So let us do the discussion about it. First we will see what is the meaning of environmental pollution. Environmental pollution means unnecessary and unacceptable change in the surrounding environment due to natural events or human activities. Now which natural events are there which are responsible to cause the environmental pollution? In that, different types of disasters are there, earthquake, volcano, droughts, just type of natural events are there, and with that different types of human activities are there which are responsible to cause the environmental pollution. That is direct or indirect changes in physical, chemical and biological properties of air, water and soil which will be harmful to human and other living beings is environmental pollution. Understanding what is the meaning of environmental pollution, that is direct or indirect changes when occur in physical, chemical and biological properties of air, water and soil which will be the harmful to the human and other living being. It is known as the environmental pollution. Various reasons are there. Reasons like population explosion, fast industrialization and indiscriminate use of natural resources, deforestation and unplanned urbanization are responsible for environmental pollution. These are the some reasons by which environmental pollution takes place or occurs. Now let us see the next point, need of environmental conservation. Why there is a need of environmental conservation or the protection? There should be large scale participation of the people in environment conservation. It will be possible to answer the environmental problems only if environmental protection or conservation becomes an effective public movement. Okay, so for this purpose, values like positive attitude and affection towards environment, knowledge about it, etc. should be inculcated among the children since their childhood. And this will be help to make the future generations more aware about environmental conservation and protection. So as to achieve this, it is necessary to increase the awareness through education. So these all are that points are there by which we can conserve the environment. Let us see the next point, environmental conservation, our social responsibility. Human has crucial role in maintaining the environmental balance. If human has disturbed the environmental balance, then human itself only can conserve and improve the quality of nature. Many times general public is unknown that its activities are harmful to the environment, and thereby unknowingly many activities happen. It means when by the human when different types of activities done, for example deforestation, industrialization, these all activities are done by the human. So this is one most important reason for the environmental pollution and environmental conservation. It's our social responsibility, so we have to stop to harm the environment. Name of this person is Jadav Molai Payang. he is a forest worker, and Molai planted 20 bamboo plantlets in 1979. The local social forestry department began a social afforestation project on 200 hectares of land. Molai was one of the few forest workers who were looking after that project. Molai continued to plant the trees even after completion of the project, and as a result of his continuous work of planting and caring for the trees, the barren area witnessed the forest cover over the 1360 acres. Now let us see the next one point, environmental conservation and biodiversity. In that, environmental conservation and biodiversity means what? Biodiversity means variety of plants and animals. So there is a different types of plant species and animals are present in the environment, and it is the richness of the environment. In that, this diversity we can see in the three forms. The first one is genetic diversity. Now genetic diversity means what? In genetic diversity, diversity among the organism of same species. For example, human being. If we will see the genetic diversity, the most important example, which one is there? Human being, because each and every human being is different from each other. So it shows the genetic diversity. The second one type is species diversity. Different types of plant species and animal species and microbes are present in the environment, and it shows the variety in it. So this is known as the species diversity. And the third one diversity is ecosystem diversity. Different types of ecosystems are present in the environment. For example, terrestrial land ecosystem. After that, aquatic ecosystem is there, grassland ecosystem is there, and these all ecosystem have a specific types of the factors, or the so whatever biotic factors and whatever abiotic factors are present, these are specifically present in each ecosystem. So the third one name of the diversity is ecosystem diversity. It means it shows the variety of plant species and the animal species, so it is known as the biodiversity. The next one point is about the sacred groves. Now sacred groves means what? The forest conserved in the name of God and considered to be sacred. Now sacred means blessed, is called as sacred grove. As it has been conserved in the name of God, it has special protection. It means it has a special protection, but this protection is given by the society. Why? Because it is conserved in the name of God and it is blessed by the God. So the name given as the sacred grove, it is not protected by the government forest department. It is protected by the society. Now the next point is about the my role in environment. In my role in environment, different points you can see through the flow chart. So one by one we will discuss here. In my role in environment, the first one is control. Now how we can control or how we can stop to pollute the environment? In that, the first one point is related to the we should prevent the harm to the environment. After that, we should stop the harmful activities. Now which harmful activities are there? Industrialization, deforestation, construction of roads are there. Again, some indiscriminate use of vehicles, just type of different activities are there which are responsible to cause the pollution in the environment. So we should stop the harmful activities and we should change the mindset about the environment. The second one point is about the production. Here, revival of harm factors of environment. Now revival means what? Rebirth. So we should revival of harm factors of the environment, and we should attempt innovation. Innovation means to do the new things. So whatever new things are there related to the environment, we should do it. The third one point is about the awareness. Awareness means consciousness. Here, through the how we can increase the awareness about the environment, through the education. How education is useful to increase the awareness? If we will give the information related to the environment in the books, it is useful to increase the awareness related to the environment. After that, guidance. If we will give proper guidance to the children or the students, it is also useful to increase the awareness about the environment. After that, the awareness and the imitations. And imitations mean what here? Imitations means to follow. Whatever good things are there related to the environment, we should follow it. And organization, and the last one is a participation. We should organize different types of programs related to the environment for the conservation of the environment. For example, planting trees, cleaning of the environment. So just type of programs we can arrange there, and we should participate in such programs which are useful to increase awareness related to the environment. After that, the next one point is about the prevention. Preventing possible harm. We should stop to or we should prevent possible harms to the environment. After that, designing new plans and factors harmful to the environment. Whatever harmful factors are there, for example, burning of fuel, it is harmful to the environment because it is responsible to cause the air pollution. Instead of that, if we will use the smokeless fuel there, it is useful to prevent the air pollution. So this prevention is the point which is useful to conserve the environment. The next one point is about the preservation. Now here, preserving whatever has been left over. Whatever left over in the environment, we should preserve it. And remedies to prevent further loss. We should use some remedies to prevent the further loss. And preserving unknown regions. Whatever unknown regions are there, we should preserve it. So preservation is also important to conserve the environment. And the last one point is about the conservation, means protection. Here, conserving the available resources. Different types of resources are there that we use for our day-to-day activities or for to survive our life, but we should conserve the whatever available resources are there, we should conserve it. So by using these all processes or methods, we can conserve or we can protect the environment. Now let us see, the next one point is about the classification of threatened species. Here you can see total 4 points are given related to the classification. Here the first one is endangered species. These are the names of the threatened species. Which are the names there? The first one is endangered species, second one is rare species, third one is vulnerable species, and fourth one is indeterminate species. Now we will see what is the that examples are there which are included in the endangered species. Okay, either number of these organisms is declined or their habitat is shrunk to such an extent that they can be extinct in near future if conservative measures are not implemented. It means if we will not implement the conservative measures, these endangered species become extinct and they can be extinct in near future. Now which examples are there as a endangered species is given here? Lion-tailed monkey, lizard florican. These two examples of endangered species. Which are the examples? Lion-tailed monkey and lizard florican. Now the second one species name is threatened species is rare species. Now rare species means number of these organism is considerably declined, and organisms of these species being endemic may become extinct very fast. For example, red panda and musk deer. So rare species means what? The species which become endemic or become extinct very fast. So these are known as the rare species. And what are the examples for it? Red panda and the musk deer are the examples of rare species. Now the third one, threatened species name is vulnerable species. Vulnerable species means number of these organism is extremely less. Already number of these organism is extremely less and continues to decline. And continuous decline in their number is worrisome reason. For example, tiger and the lion. And number of these organism is extremely less, so the name given to this threatened species is vulnerable species. And what are the examples for the vulnerable species? Tiger and lion. The last one threatened species name is indeterminate species. Now indeterminate means which cannot determine. Okay, these organisms appear to be endangered, but due to their some behavioral habits. Now behavioral habits means like shyness. There is no definite and substantial information about such species. Now indeterminate species example is giant squirrel, and we call it generally shekru. Okay, here indeterminate species means mainly these organisms are there which shows some behavioral habits. It means if you will see the giant squirrel, because of the shyness of the giant squirrel means shyness of the shekru, whatever definite information is related to this shekru is there that we cannot get from such type of species. So the name given as the indeterminate species. As a threatened species, total 4 species you have studied there, which are that endangered species, rare species, vulnerable species and indeterminate species. Now with this point our important points are completed. Thank you.